Hey folks, it's Vic Noble here, and I'm the founder of our Forex Mentor Coach's Corner Forex Trading and Training Service. Following one of our YouTube videos, we were asked to go over the meaning of different terms in trading, the terms context, structure, and price behavior. So let's start with context. Context is a bigger picture look at the market that we're trading. Like, what are the higher time frames doing? Where is the trade setting up in the context of the higher time frame? So for example, is it setting up in the context of a higher time frame uptrend or downtrend, however you define it? We use something called advanced market flow, but maybe you have a different way of defining trend. Are we trading at a higher time frame level of support resistance? Or maybe price is just in a trading range, but it just means a bigger picture view. On these charts, on the upper left, this is a monthly chart, and this is for our day trading. This is a day trading template. Monthly, and then the upper right is weekly. Lower left is daily, and then the lower right is our entry time frame 1 hour chart for day trading. So that's context. You notice on the monthly chart, for example, on this pair, we've hit this resistance level. Like, this goes back to 2017. It's been a formidable level of resistance. So we want to be really aware of that, and we want to be aware of this level down here that used to be resistance as well. Resistance, 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 and it breaks it. Maybe it's now going to become support, so we'll keep an eye on that. Okay. So for structure, it's like, what does the wave action look like? We're looking at highs and lows of waves, or you might call it peaks and troughs. And you can look at structure on any time frame. So once price hits this level, if you start to look at your daily price structure, and by the way, this is a nice coincidental level with the weekly chart as well. We'll start to look what's happening. Well, on the way up, it's making higher highs and higher lows all the way up. See that? And then it fails to hold above here and makes a lower low. Now it's making a lower low and lower highs and heading back the other way. Once we observe the context and the structure, okay, then we can take a look at price behavior around these higher time frame key levels when we're looking for an actual trade. Okay, so how does the trade setup fit into the surrounding market context and structure? Okay, is it setting up at a great level of support resistance on the higher time frames? And is the structure setting up for a possible move higher, or is it setting up for a possible move lower? Right? And just to be clear about this, just because there's a pattern, it doesn't mean necessarily that you should just take the trade. Because, for example, you might get a pattern. Let's look at this here. We have lower highs and lower lows. Well, you might get a buy pattern set up when the structure is showing lower wave highs and lower wave lows. Well, maybe that's a trade that you want to pass on, because generally, those kinds of trades when you're looking at the whole context and structure, those will have a lower probability of working out favorably. So we're looking to trade around higher time frame support resistance levels, and then we want to see how price is behaving and the structure, and once it hits the levels that we're interested in. Is it setting up for a recognizable pattern? Okay. And what can happen too, we could be, like, say we're at a higher time frame level of support. We want to see if there's a valid buy pattern setting up. Okay, because that's what we're expecting. It may not happen, but because we're at this in the context of a higher time frame, we're starting to watch the structure, and we can watch it on any time frame, like I say. So is it setting up for a buy, or maybe this level is failing, and rather than holding, maybe it's going to break out lower, and we could see a pattern to sell rather than buy. Okay, and this is all found by observing the price behavior once it gets to these levels, and we'll watch that on our entry time frame as well, right? So what our lead coach Darko does every day is he does a pre-market analysis for our members, and he considers all of these factors on about 26 currency pairs. So it's a lot of work because he does this every day. And when he finds a good confluence of context, structure, and price behavior, and he sees one of our patterns setting up, then he posts that to our members site so that our members can actually take advantage of the trade. And this is all done way ahead of time. He never does them in hindsight, so that our members can, like I say, they can actually take advantage of the trade in real time. Thanks so much for that question. I hope that helps.